Well, here in Portsmouth, some very, very difficult conditions greeted the athletes. The sea giving clear evidence of the very high winds as we approach the start of the 10-mile races here, the 24th running of this Great South Run. Jo Pavey was a starter, a former winner. She won last year, incidentally, and the women got underway. It was a big, big group to start with, but really, eventually, it went down to 3 and then to 1, and it was Florence Kiplagat of Kenya who began with a 5:26, a 5:09, 5:08, 5:08, 5:05, and then by mile 6, this is only mile 2, but by mile 6, she was almost, well, she was a minute ahead of second place athlete Pauline Wanjiku, also of Kenya. The men underway, well, it was always going to be the defence of a title by Stephen Makoka of the Republic of South Africa, and he was under real pressure from this man, Emmanuel Bett of Kenya, who a 10,000 metre man, a sub-27-minute man in Brussels last year. We knew that he had talent, but whether he had talent of this kind on the road, well, we were to see, because in second place there was Thomas Iyeko of Uganda, who was second in the, won the Great Birmingham Run last week. But certainly the first and second in the women never changed, but Kiplagat's lead really extended ahead of her teammate Wanjiku, who was third in the Great Scottish Run, just over 73 minutes. But the men, well, down to 3 very, very early indeed. Some very, very quick times, far ahead of the times we expected, taking all the conditions into account. The masses, 25,000 of them, incidentally, started this race, we're told. And Kiplagat, Florence Kiplagat, who recently won the Berlin Marathon, incidentally, ran in the London Marathon, was 6th in that in 2012 as well. And Charlotte Perdue led a trailing group there, which really consisted of the young woman from Poland, Nowakowska. But let's have a look at the start here. Look at the gap. It opened up very quickly for the men with just Makoka and Bett leading, but no trouble for Kiplagat whatsoever. Down the Eastway Esplanade and the South Sea Esplanade, there was a real battle with the wind. It was a very, very slow last mile, but when you consider the ability of these fellas, look at this. Makoka almost caught him, but nobody caught Florence Kiplagat. Kiplagat so dominated the race in just under 54 minutes, 53, 54, but it was a very fine. And Charlotte Perdue, incidentally, of Great Britain, did so well on her first race of the season to come into 3rd place. Terrific stuff, it really was. There it is, Kiplagat, Wanjiku, and Perdue in 1st, 2nd and 3rd. And Nowakowska, we mentioned there in 4th place. Susan Partridge, the marathon runner, in 5th. But the men, well, it was a fantastic run down that final stage with into the 2 miles of real headwind conditions. You can see the flags waving and they're almost blown away. But in the end, Emmanuel Bett of Kenya took the title in a very, very quick time, just outside 48 minutes. It really was a very quick time in these difficult conditions. And Stephen Makoka of South Africa had to be content with 2nd place this year. Thomas Iyeko of Uganda held on for 3rd place, but that winning time confirmed at 48.03.